Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. We are here with another, I don't want to say it's financial, but I guess it's a financial video. And you can see by the title what we're going to be getting into today. We're going to make it as quick, as sweet, as simple, as nice as possible. I do apologize if you do hear any noise in the background. They're doing some kind of construction something out there, and they've been doing it for the past how many hours? I can't just sit and wait for them to finish. Like, people need to do, I need to catch the sunlight. You know, it's November, the sun sets at like 3 p.m. But that is neither here or there. This video, darling, we are going into pivoting in a pandemic. What do I mean by pivoting? I mean pivoting financially, pivoting career-wise in a pandemic. Because let's face it, a lot of us, unfortunately, have had a hit on our finances during this time. Some of us have lost a job. But how to turn it around for your good and still be able to make money for yourself during this time. But before we get into this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend, share this video with your colleagues, your mother, your father, whoever. Just make sure you share this video. So how do we pivot during this pandemic where it's not only hitting us health-wise, but financially a lot of people are getting hit? First things first, you gotta make sure you take care of your health. Darling, you gotta make sure you take care of your health, because if your health is not right, you can't do anything. Health is wealth. Literally, health is wealth. Health equates wealth. If you're not healthy, you cannot become wealthy. Number one, you gotta make sure you are healthy. Do what you can to take care of yourself, boost your immune system, all that, vitamins, eating right, exercising. You gotta make sure you are healthy. This I heard from the Budegtnista. I don't know if you guys know her. I heard this she's on a podcast, Deadass. One of the things they said on this podcast was saving during this time, and not stressing yourself or worrying so much about paying off debt. And let me tell you something, that is so true. Because a lot of us, we are so concerned about paying off debt, making sure we pay bills and stuff on time, because we don't want to hit our credit score, we don't want bill collectors calling us, all that, which is true. It's important to pay off your debt. But I think it's even more important, this is what they were also saying on the podcast, build up savings. Because, God forbid, a lot of people now realize they don't have their job and they don't have any savings. They have nothing to fall back on. Sure, all their debt might be paid off, but what are they gonna live off of? They have no income coming in. So during these times, it's important to make sure you prioritize your savings. They say it's ideal that you should save up at least 6 months worth of savings. And I even mentioned this in my previous video about savings, which you can check above. And trust me, that's very hard to do. If you can do it, do it. Because you don't know if you lose your job, when you will get another job. Some people, it takes them right away. Some people, it might take months, a year to get another job, especially a job that, you know, can pay them to be able to support their lifestyle. So prioritize the savings, because you can always fix your credit score and stuff after that. Once you get back working again, you can always fix your credit score. Again, paying your bills on time is very important, yes, but making sure that you have money in the account is more important during these times. Unless you are looking to buy a house or a car right now, your credit score isn't the most important. Making sure you have money to live your day-to-day life is. So prioritize your savings. Make sure to get rid of any non-essential expenses that you have, monthly expenses that you have. Things that you don't really need at this time, things that might have been a luxury before that you don't really need, especially now during this time where you need to hunker down on, you know, your finances. Anything that's not really essential, anything that you don't really need, get rid of it. Just this morning, I canceled my Amazon Prime. I don't really need it. I don't shop on Amazon enough for me to see the need, to see the value in having an Amazon Prime. I don't shop on Amazon like that. I don't really watch Amazon videos like that. We got Netflix, you know what I'm saying? But yet, every month they're taking out like $9, $10. It's not necessary. So I cut that out. So make sure to cut out any unnecessary expenses that you don't need. Again, like I said, I mentioned in the previous video, it could be your like monthly subscriptions to maybe like, I don't know, a box that you get, like a BoxyCharm or whatever. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe you can cut back on that for a couple months, or a Netflix account. Maybe you find yourself that you actually don't really watch Netflix that much, but it's just like a nice to have. But go through what your monthly expenses are, and anything that you don't really need, cut that. Now, let's get more into like the business and career stuff. This is also a time where you need to start thinking about, how can I make income? How can I pivot career-wise, business-wise? You want to think of starting a pandemic-proof business. And quite frankly, right now, as we could all see, digital, virtual, that is a pandemic-proof type of business. Things that you can do online, such as starting a YouTube channel, such as starting a podcast, such as selling goods online. So you want to look at what can you do digitally, content creation digitally. A lot of these influencers and stuff that have been doing it before are realizing that, yeah, they've never stopped working. Yeah, some of their brand deals might have slowed down because people are not shopping as much, but they're picking up again, and they've never really missed because everything is done virtually anyways. So like I said, a lot of people, I've noticed a lot of my friends, especially a lot of couples, newly couples, started YouTube channels because they're realizing YouTube's the way to go. You know, if you're fortunate enough to get your YouTube channel up and started in a couple of months, where you can get monetized in a couple of months, it's really good. For me, I'm an example. I started my YouTube channel again a couple months ago because of the pandemic, and also having more time on my hand to be able to do it. Podcast also, if you get to a point where you're getting a lot of listeners, you can eventually start to monetize that. Again, if you are a digital person, so you build websites, that's also really good to do. Maybe you did that on the side. Maybe you want to start focusing on that more, pushing that more. If you're a graphic designer, you build websites, you build apps, all those stuff that you could do virtually, start looking into prioritizing those types of businesses. I've also noticed a lot of people are doing master classes during this time. You know, they realize, for example, if you're a stylist, maybe this time you realize that, you know, shoots are slowing down, shootings for films and TV are slowing down. So some of them didn't have as much work, especially during the height of the pandemic. So what they do, they pivoted to start creating fashion master classes online, where people can take online. Stuff like that. What are you really good at that you can maybe teach others? Create a master class for that, or create a course for it. That's something that you could do. For example, I did this prior the pandemic, but I created an online toolkit, a electronic toolkit for first-time home buyers. Stuff like that, stuff that you have experience on, stuff that you have knowledge on that you think someone else will benefit from, monetize on that. You know what I'm saying? Turn it into a YouTube video, turn it into an online toolkit, turn it into a masterclass. You have to start thinking outside of the box of how you can do it. Become a consultant. Those stuff like that. And also, this is the time for you to start getting into your bag with, you know, other creative stuff. Writing a novel, writing a script, writing a blog. I know a few people that's launched blogs during this time. For me, I'm writing scripts. Stuff like that you can start to do. If you have a product idea that you could sell, start looking into that. How can you start selling products? Look into drop shipping. What does drop shipping mean? All those things that you could do. Starting an Amazon store. Trading stocks. Things that you could do that are pandemic proof. Maybe you're even fortunate enough and you're watching this and you have enough capital to start a grocery store. I mean, that's not online, that's not virtual. You can make it virtual if you want, but stuff like a grocery store, That is pandemic proof, because people will always need food. People will always need food. So you have to start thinking of stuff like that. But yeah, they'll hopefully, like, this video gives some ideas of how you can pivot, turn during this time. Ways that you can start saving money, and ways that you can start thinking your line of thinking of how you can still get an income during this pandemic. Because who knows when things will go back to normal, if they will ever go back to normal. A lot of people are saying it's not ever gonna go back to normal. So now we have to start changing our way of thinking, changing the way that we do business, and start thinking virtual, start thinking digital, because whether we like it or not, that's just the way that things are going. That is just the way that things are going. If you're technologically savvy and you see the trajectory of how things are going, maybe you have an idea of creating a platform that companies can use for virtual meetings or virtual exchange of currency or whatever. Stuff like that. Just get your gears going. Get your gears going, guys. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful to somebody. Again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with somebody, and I will see y'all next time, darling.